Hey everyone, this is Kara, Executive Director and Founder of Catalively.
Hi, I'm Dominique Condeveau, and I'm the Board President for the nonprofit of Catalively.
And we're here today because suicide sucks. And we get lots of questions about suicide every single day because our mission of our nonprofit is to reduce or eliminate youth suicide. So Dominique, what's one question that we get a lot that we can talk about today?
Well, the number one question that we're getting is, why is mental health and suicide rates on the rise?
It's a great question. So we focus on 10 to 24-year-olds specifically with our nonprofit, and we actually want to reference a study that came out just a year ago in January 2019. That study had 4,000 young people, teenagers, and they were telling us there are top 3 things that are making them feel more suicidal.
And that would be pressure, perfectionism, and lack of social connection.
Right. So let's talk about that for a minute. What would be something a teenager would say they're feeling pressure about?
Getting into schools. The next step. What's the next step?
Right. We have 14-year-olds that are now worrying about colleges and they're just starting their high school career. So that's a lot of pressure to be thinking about the next steps when you've got 4 years to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For perfectionism, what comes to mind?
Well, that they are not perfect right out the gate.
Right. So kind of that black and white thinking.
Absolutely. So they didn't make varsity for the basketball team when they were a freshman. There's no chance to learn through failing.
Maybe they didn't do as well on a paper as they thought they would for an AP or IB class. So we definitely have a young generation right now that's feeling a lot of pressure and perfection to just get it right the first time. And that might not feel realistic to those of you who are watching this video because most of us have to learn that we're human and that we make mistakes. What's that last thing that our young people are telling us?
So the lack of social connection. So right now, Instagram and Snapchat are the main modes of connection for our young people.
Right.
And so one thing that they're forgetting is that snapshot is a moment, and a lot of times there are 40 or 50 shots to get that one shot. And when somebody's just looking at it, they're thinking, well, I can never go ahead and be as cool as them. Right. I don't have vacation. I can't dress like them. I don't have that car. And so that lack of connection, that sense of withdrawal and isolation because they can't be as good as that person that they're looking at with their Snapchat or their
right. It
TikTok
just doesn't seem like reality.
Absolutely.
It's very much the successes of a person and not necessarily their hardships or challenges. Mm-hmm. So I think there's plenty of organizations out there trying to help people understand that what you see on media is not necessarily always the truth. What is really stunning about this statistic is that when we look at our LGBTQ plus young people, having one positive adult in their life reduces their suicide rate by 40%.
40% to go ahead and be that trusting adult.
Right.
That adult that will just go ahead and acknowledge them for the person that they are.
Right. So talk about social connection. I think that's a big piece of this is who do we feel like we can count on and who can be there when we need them. Mm-hmm. So again, to kind of recap those 3 things that our Colorado teenagers are telling us that are part of their suicidal experience: pressure, perfection, and social connection. Lack thereof, actually. So things to keep in mind when we're asking that question about what's causing the increase in mental health and suicide. There's obviously a lot more to go with that question, but those are just some things we want you to think about. We hope you stay tuned for the next video. We'll see you later.
Bye.